I just put this assignment together for you as a bit of an example of what I'm looking for the tree architecture and interactions in growth assignment. I needed a picture of the overall woodlot. I'd kind of like a picture of where the trees where they are so I can see them in the community. In this example, I was just pulling pictures that I had, and I didn't go out to the bush to get the exact. So anyways, what I'd like, let's say actually the sample you'll look at was in this area somewhere here. Um, but anyway, there's the woodlot. Scrolling ahead, this is the first part. So I have a community of trees. I'll critique it. I could use more images. The image itself here for the architecture is good for this sugar maple, but I can't see a whole lot what else is going on there. There's a little another little maple here, and then there's an ash, white ash in behind here. So they're kind of the ones, maybe another maple here as well. And these are the ones that I'm talking about in my plant community. But for the first part, I'm going to focus on the story of the tree. So I'm looking up this sugar maple, and I've got 5 examples here. So some of it's the terminology that you would have seen on your assignment paper. Strong epinestic control, and so this is evident when there was a leader that was lost or bent or damaged, and yet it continued to grow straight upright. So justifying why that's taken place. Evidence that the leader was lost, bent, the reasoning behind why that leader would have been lost, so it would have been damaged, possibly through abrasion or a branch hit it. Reaction wood, so there's another indicator there that something, how the trees responded to growth. Short, consistent bends in the main stem. So this tells me that this is a suppressed tree because these little bends that you see probably have been just slow, isolated growth from one year to the next, not really producing a lot of good, aggressive, straight growth because it's been trapped in the understory. That, and also with bark morphology, it's a very small diameter, yet the bark is quite scaly and rough. And that tells me that that's quite an old tree as well. It's not a young and growing vigorously. So now I'm going to back out and with this little write-up look at the forest interactions. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about the history. I want to see your scientific names used in here, no common names. As you get writing, I don't mind if right here MH, AW, those are the forestry codes for sugar maple and white ash. I don't mind if you use that. Anyways, just give me some Silvix information. So in this one with the history, I'm justifying why I think these trees have grown in the understory of an existing forest, and that is based on their shade tolerance and also the evidence of the forest trees growing around it. So what, in other words, they didn't germinate in a forest where there has been land clearing or disturbance take place. They have grown up under the existing forest. So the Silvix to justify that. Currently, I'm talking about their lifespans here, how long-lived they can be. Sorry, just reading through because I can't remember what all I put in there. But anyways, you can read through and see that. But yeah, basically just talking about their longevity, how long I expect them to be there, things like that. And then the future, this is really the critical stuff to me. The history is important as well. Currently, yeah, you're looking at it. But in the future, where is this forest going? That's tied in with these pictures down below here as well. So present day, we've got our sugar maple, there's the bend, and we've got a white ash. Keep the drawings really simple, okay? They don't need to be crazy and really impressive artistic work. If they are, that's lovely. But they can be difficult to interpret sometimes. So keeping it simple is often just helpful. So I'm looking in 30 years. Here's my write-up of what I expect will happen. And I'm looking at Silvix information. What I focused on here, and you don't have to, it will all depend. There's lots of things we can talk about, but what I'm focusing on is response to release. I'm expecting that the white ash, here's the stump, it died from EAB. There's a canopy opening from the loss of ash, so now the response to release. How do these trees, the surviving sugar maples, the young ones we saw in the photos, plus this old suppressed tree, how do they respond to release? Meaning the release is the opening in the canopy so that there's a surge of sunlight to encourage new growth. That is the release. How do they respond? So that's what I've addressed in this one. I finished off with references at the end. Okay, forest stand dynamics is excellent for going over some of the architecture and interactions of growth, the real fine points of what we're talking about here. And then of course good old big blue, which will help you with the Silvix part.